Hey there viewers, and we are going to be doing a bonus challenge today, which is creating a whole web page design with all the different sections that you mainly get in a website. And before we get into the video, if you do find the content useful, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell. My name is Roy, I'm a web designer, and thanks again for yesterday's comments on the small design system. And again, just keep on practicing every day, and let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a frame, and we're going to choose desktop of 1440 width, and in there we're also going to get another frame, and this frame is going to be the 1280 width. We're going to put that inside, center align it, and then from the top 100 pixels we're going to give it a very light gray just so we can see it, and we're going to then put in some items. So straight away we're going to put in heading, and we're going to give this the biggest heading we have on our styles. We are also going to put in some lorem ipsum, so we're going to use a plugin for this. If you right click plugins, you go to Figma community if you haven't installed this, and then it's called lorem ipsum. Here we can generate a paragraph, which is quite a lot, and what we're going to do is we are just going to give this the base size. Command A, base size, and last but not least is the circle. So we're just going to have some basic building blocks, and then we're going to build on top of those. So if I get, it's a simple circle here, and we're going to make this 48 by 48. And now we're just going to select all three and put this into an auto layout. So you can do Shift A, and the spacing between them we're going to say 16, or maybe we should be more generous, let's say 32. And we are going to make sure that if we select the whole frame, we're going to give this a width, so fixed width of 1280. We're going to align it in the center, and what we're also going to do is we're just going to click on this, and we're going to say fill container. Wow, that's quite a lot of text. So what we're going to do is we're also going to detach the style, and we're going to give it more leading or more line height. Put 150%. And what we're going to do now is, this is the container, we're going to give it a padding left and right. So if you go here, let's say we give it 64 on both sides. Okay, so that doesn't look exactly like that, but you'll see where we're going to go. And then padding on the top and the bottom, we're going to give it more spacing. So you can think of this as spacing between the sections. So you can say 128, 128, and also I'm not sure why that's happening there. So we just make sure the frame wraps around, and now we can see that it's starting to line up nicely. We're going to make it be 100 from the top. So now we've kind of got a one column section. So what we're going to do is start building a 2 column, a 3 column. So what we do, we'll just copy this one, or actually we copy the whole thing there, paste it, and we are going to just bring that down. We're just going to enlarge this as well, and then here if we go to this frame, we are just going to do Command C, Command V, and we are going to turn this into an auto frame as well, auto layout, so Shift A. And now we're going to make them side by side, as you can see, but what we want to do a bit differently is we want to say we want it to be fill container. Well, let's see if this is the right way. Fill container, and that's not the right way. So let's have a look. Okay, so we actually want this to be half the width. So let me just double check here. This one is 608 fill container. Okay, so here we go. Here again, we are gonna basically say need this to fill. Oh, let's see if we don't have a fixed width. If we say hug contents, okay, this one is also hug contents. Oop. Okay, that's fine. And then we need to say to scale. No. Oh, wow, not going to be easy. Let's see. So fill container. We say fill container and fill container. Okay, there we go. So fill container, and this one we're also going to give it a width of 1280 pixels. So now we've got two column layout, and what we're going to do is let's just reduce some of this text. It's quite a lot, so we'll just reduce all of that. Here we'll reduce some of this and some of this there as well. So if I was just to, you can see that it's fluid. So here we got fill container, and the main auto layout wrapper is a width of 1280. So let's see if this works on the third column. So if I just Command C, Command V, bring that down, and then if I just Command C, Command V, now you've got a 3 column layout. Excellent. And then what we want to do, we just want to build a bit of a visual hierarchy. So this heading, I think it should be the next one down. So 40. This one also be 40. These ones also to be 40 as well. 40 and 40. Okay. So we got a 2 column layout, a 3 column layout. And yeah, those are just some nice building blocks. Some really nice building blocks, and we can just change the order. So we want the icon or the number to be at the top. So you just select it and then you just press up, and it's that easy. Just change the order. It's just so much easier than dragging things. So here you just do the same thing. This one is going to be like a testimonial. So let's see the other one. So we've also got a 4 column layout. So same thing again. I'm just gonna go in here and I'm just gonna Command C, Command V, and we need to then drag that down. Let's just enlarge this canvas as well. Oop. You have to go down and then just drag it. Okay, so just do the same thing, Command C, Command V. Now we have a 4 column layout, and what we're going to start doing is we're going to delete some of these because we don't need all of these, and we're going to start typing out some nav items. So for example, we got features. Probably be easier if I just bring that down and copy everything. So this is not always the glamorous bit, right? But you can see that once you have this in place, you can just start building out loads and loads of pages. So we want to decrease the spacing there. So let's say 16. Okay, let's say 8. Okay, so we got security, we got team, enterprise, and something else. So team, enterprise, pricing. Okay, so what we do, we're just going to delete these ones. See how nice they grow. And then let's see if this works. Command V, Command V, Command V. Oops, no, they're going in each other. So we make sure we go outside. Command V, Command V. Lovely. So just to save some time, you can kind of get the gist of it. This is going to be this area here. And then the footer, we are actually going to just go to frame. Well, actually, we're just going to Command C, Command V. And we're going to take out like this. And we're just going to copy what we have there. So Oscorp, if anyone recognizes well I'm getting the inspiration for this name, please let me know in the comments. If my spelling technology is right. And then Alt G for the copyright symbol. So I'm on a Mac. And then yeah, just put in the copyright there. So delete these items here. And then we're going to get the social media icons. So one place to get this, and I was on GitHub just to get some inspiration, because GitHub is amazing. So if you go to a site called simpleicons.org, you can find quite a lot of these famous logos, and they're all SVG. So for example, Twitter. Once you click there, you'll just download it straight away, right? So I've already got some of these here. So all I'm just going to copy. Ooh. Okay, let's actually get them in just to show you how I've done it. So, oh, here they are. They're already there. Just drag it in to your canvas. Let's see if that worked. No, it didn't. Not yet. So click. Ooh. I'm on the sticky keys, not good. So just drag them one at a time. Facebook. So we've got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then LinkedIn. Okay. And then you just select all of them. Shift A. That puts it in order. Let's put a spacing of 32. And then we just have to Command C. Come into this container, Command V, and then we just delete these. And then from there, we're just going to align this to the right side. Okay, so now you have your footer. It's quite cool. Okay, and then from there, we're just going to get both of these, cut it, bring it back into this frame, which is going to go on top of everything, drag it down. And what you can do as well, what we're going to do is we're going to select the whole frame. We're going to then turn this into an auto layout. So Shift A. Now we can put the spacing accurately between all of them. So let's say 64. So now you practically got the building blocks of a site. You got the footer, the site map on the footer, 3-column layout, 2, 1, and then last but not least is the header area. So if I was just to grab what we did yesterday, right? So let's grab this one. And we're going to make some minor tweaks to this. So Command V, and straight away it's put it in order, but we want this to go to the top. So we just tab all the way up and there you go. Nice, it's in. But it's not lining up correctly, so we're just going to take out the padding on the left and the right, because we've already done that on this main area here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to remove validated ideas just to keep it clean for now. So delete that. And here we're gonna Command G to create a group. Oh no, you can't do that yet. Command C. Oh yeah, we have to detach the component because we're modifying it. So you just right click, detach, because it's just going to be quite different. So here you can do Command G, which groups it, and then in here you just do Command C, Command V, and it went outside. So let's just drag it into this group, and we want to make sure that this group is got an auto layout. So Shift A again, we want it to be space between let's say 0, and not sure why it's taking up half the space. So hug contents, there we go. And then we want to have a spacing between them of 16. This one is going to be login, so this is a big debate, but do you combine the login or you separate log and in? So I'm going to go for that. And then you got sign up, and this is also going to be a primary button, so we're going to use some of our colors from yesterday. So we're going to fill it the primary color. We're going to also give the stroke the primary color, so you can go to local colors, and there we go. And then we're going to make the actual color of the text white. So I'll just double click on that to make sure, and then we're going to go to Tailwind, and we're just going to go to the second gray or white. There we go. And then from there we just have to make sure we center align it, and then we go to this secondary one. We're going to use the secondary color, which is hiding away somewhere, which is, here we go. So to reach your color styles that we did, we just go to that one there, click on secondary. We also want to make the text the secondary as well. So here we can straight away go to that grid, the 4 dots, select, and there we have it. Okay, so we just want to put in some of the nav items. So we're just going to click inside, and we're going to say about. We're going to do Shift A, and in here we're going to then say Command C, Command V. We're going to do it 3 times, and in here we're going to have a spacing of, let's say, 16. We're going to get rid of this padding to 0. Actually, let's be more generous, 32. And then the items we have is blog, and then we have features. So really now we've got the nav, we've got a hero section, or we're using this as a testimonial. We've got we got 4 column layout there. So actually we want to Command C, Command V, and let's bring this up there, and then let's just get rid of, let's say we get rid of some of these because we're not going to need all of them, and we're just going to select 1 column, Command C, Command V. So now we got 4 column layout, 2 column layout. We don't have this yet, which we will do soon. Well, and this section here, but now you've got all the building blocks of a whole site, right? So let's say we build out this section. So what we have to do is get the 2 column layout. So we do Command C, Command V, and what we do here is we're gonna get rid of that circle. We're also going to bring in a button. So if we go to buttons, we just drag it across into that frame. There you go. And straight away it's put it in nicely. If I go to layers, and then if I command C, well actually we also want the secondary one, so let's see how that goes. Drag that into that frame and it goes before it. So if we go to layers, we don't really want it to stack, so what you have to do is combine them, click on both, Shift A, auto layout again. Auto layout is just killing it nowadays, and then we make sure it's horizontal, and perfect, there you go. And what we want to do is we want to change the order, so this is on the left, and we want the whole thing to be above that text item. So I can't click on it at the moment, so tap up. We want to change this style slightly, so we actually want it to be have a stroke of secondary. We're gonna have no fill. Actually no, we're gonna have a white fill, and then we're gonna have the, let's see if this is the right one, selection colors, so white, and then the text will hopefully be go to local, sorry, pink. There we are. And then what we're going to do is the size of this is 600 by 400, let's say. So if I bring in a, let's see, so that one is a frame. Okay, so let's bring in a frame as a picture. So if I just drag that into here, and we just say, let's say if we put in 600, what will happen? Okay, it goes outside. So we want to fill the container, and let's give it a height of 400. Okay, maybe 300. Okay, so now if we just give that a fill, yeah. I'm going to show you how I've done this mesh gradient, right? So which is quite cool. Let me see if I can delete that. So okay, I'm going to show you how I did that anyway. So if I just give it a fill for now of white, and then we delete these, we now have the same section really. Okay, and I gave it a border radius of 40, and then this is the last big one that we're going to do. So it's very similar. Well, we can use this. So if I was to Command C, Command V, bring it down, and we're going to make this one longer. So let's say you have a portrait. It's probably longer than that, so 600. And here what we're going to do, we are going to delete these ones because we don't need them, but we're going to try and copy some of these. So if I get this whole column, Command C, and then we go in this whole column, if I can, here we are, and then Command V, sorry. So Command V, you can see there that it's going a bit funky there, and let's find out why. So I pasted it inside, and what you have to try and do is, let's just see, yeah. So I believe when you click on here, if we resize the fit, no, that's not it. We want a fill container. Okay, that did it. So fill container, it fills the whole height. If I click on that again, we don't really want any spacing here, so let's say we so we just make it all 0 for now. And then the next thing to do is we're just gonna Command C, Command V, and that stacks it. So what we can do then is we're actually going to group these two. This is where it gets a bit complex, but it's not too crazy complex. So I've selected both these items and then Shift G. Oh no, sorry, Shift A. And then I'm gonna Command C, Command V. That's gonna stack them below like this, but we want them to be side by side like here. So we just select them both again, Shift A, and then we want them to go to the right like that. Wonderful. However, we want it to fill this container, so let's see if this works. So fill container, and that didn't work. This we want to fill container, that kind of worked, and we want to fill container on that one, that kind of working but not that well. So what we do is whenever you have these texts going out of the container, let's just see if we can double click. We want to make sure that we hug contents. No, we want to fill container. Okay, so that's not working. So what we want to do, rather than be too clever, let's just fit it into this column. There we go. Same thing with this, fill it into the column. This one as well. Oop. We're gonna try and fill that in, but I can't see any column. So this is a good time to actually use a grid layout to give you guidance. So if I select this whole frame here, let's just see. So you have to actually get rid of the layout and then layout grid. We can then go here to style. Oh no, we go to the plus. We want to actually go to columns, and we want to say stretch. We want 2 columns, and we want a gutter of 16. We want a margin of 34. Okay, so we can actually see that the margin is actually more than that, it's 64. There we go. So it's lining up nicely, but this one is not. So this is a good way to guide you when using grids and columns. So here, if I just bring that there, and now it's filling it nicely, and same thing there. But what we want to do is we want to increase the spacing between those two. So I'm not sure if that's working very well, so I'm going to resize to fit, and then just drag it across. Resize to fit, and then drag it across. And we're going to do the same for this one. So we're going to select there, we're going to say resize to fit, and drag it across there. And if I go in even more, it's not going perfectly aligning there. So if I click on the whole thing, resize to fit, drag it all the way across there. Okay, so now we've practically got this area here. So what we're going to do again, we're just going to go back to that column. We are going to get rid of the layout grid, and now we're just going to actually increase the spacing. These are the little touches now. So really we've built out the whole page just under 30 minutes. You've got all the building blocks really for everything here, and now we're just going to add some finishing touches to this, but this is where the detail comes in, and it does take a bit more care. So for example, here you don't want to have both colors pure black. You want to have a lighter gray here, because this is where the user is going to scan, and if the heading applies to them or is interesting, they're going to then probably read some of this text. So this is tiny little touches. Same thing here, lighter gray. We're just putting in some nice colors so they can be placeholders for images or icons. So we're going to add those little touches to these sections. So same thing here, we're gonna give this a width of 896. This is using the Tailwind CSS framework. I remember the width of this, and we're gonna give it a padding of left and right. So we're actually gonna give this its own auto layout. So Shift A. We're gonna get rid of all the padding around. However, on the left and the right, we're gonna give it 64. We're going to center align it as well. So if I just double click in there, center align, and we're going to increase it. So let's say we're going to give it more, 128, because right now the measure is quite a lot of characters. So we actually need to fix the width. So let's say 896. And for some reason this is not obeying it, so let's see why. So field container, there we go, and we want to center align everything. Oops, that's not working. So let's see why. So okay, yeah, this one here, center align, there we go, lovely. And this is like your testimonial, and one thing you notice is that this is not dead in the center, so we're just going to go in, we're going to get rid of auto layout, and we're just going to click on these 3 items and then center it, and that's that simple. This one we're not actually going to put a border, I just realized, so just get rid of the border. And now we've just, yeah, we got the nav, and here we're just gonna color that as the secondary pink. We are going to do Command G to group it, and the reason why is because we're gonna put the name in there. So Jane Doe, and then we're gonna Command C, Command V, and it's all going crazy. So we just click on the group, and to the rescue again is auto layout. So Shift A, that just perfectly aligns everything. We're going to center align it all. We're going to have a spacing of 8 between them. We're going to say developer at Oscorp. Okay, and we're going to give that a link color. So again, we just go into the colors we created, and it's that quick. But we actually want these 2 items to be close. So again, we can select both, Shift A, center align, no spacing between them, so they're a lot tighter now. And now we actually want to make this text a bit, do we want to make it bigger? Let's leave it at that. So there we go, we got a nice testimonial, and now we just want to bring in all the social icons. So this is like a featured in Forbes section, or you've been featured in the press or something. So rather than me changing all this, I like to keep a reference, so I'm going to copy it, Command C, Command V, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Command C. I'm just going to use this as a reference. So, where did that paste it actually? If I click outside, it's bringing it still inside, but I want it to be outside. There we go. Just bring it to the side. So one at a time. Command C, and here you click in there, this whole column. Command V. We're going to make this a bit bigger, so just double the size. And we are going to do the same for Twitter, and there we go, Command V, and then we make sure that you lock your constrain proportion, so times that by 2, and in here we are going to paste that as well, constrain proportions times by 2, lastly Instagram, paste that in, constrain proportions and times by 2. A lot of this is repetition, but once you just get in the flow of it, you'll see how easy it is. And then we'll just delete these. What we're going to do as well, we're going to center this as well. One thing to bear in mind as well is when we are showcasing another logo like this, you don't need to give it its full color. Sometimes a bit strong, so forgot to center align that. So give it a light gray, and sometimes it's nice to give them all gray, because when you have all different colors, they kind of, it's quite busy, quite noisy. And you notice some sites, they like to grade them out a bit, which I think is better because you don't want too much attention on them. So we're going to do that very quickly now. So let's see if we can select the whole frame. You've got selection colors. We're going to go to Tailwind version 2. We are going to choose gray 400. There you go. Wow. Not, let's say 500. Okay, nice. So next thing is we got a 2-column, and the only difference here is we're going to give them its own color, but make these a bit bigger. So we're going to make this 72, and we're going to give this, let's just say we give it this nice indigo 500. Same here, times by 70, oh, times by 2. Oop. No, we don't want to times it by 2, we just want 72. And we are also going to give that, we're going to go to the next color nearby, so blue 500. Nice. Okay. And then here we're going to do the mesh. So you can actually we can actually make this a color style amazingly. So if you click on it, you can, if I remember correctly, let's see, I already have it here, so I'm gonna minus it. Oop. Oh, interesting. Yeah. So I think it's because, okay, so let's show you where I get these lovely mesh gradients. So if you just type in mesh gradients, and there it is, products.is.graphics. Let's choose a different one. So I choose Royal Health. Let's choose something violet blue. Okay, let's just get that one. Save it. We go to downloads, and then we just get rid of that. So now we are just going to drag that in, and then when you select it, we should be, yeah, here we go. So if I go to style and I want to create it, so mesh 2. So now I can just go to this image here, and I can then fill it with if I go here, and then I can fill it with mesh 2. There we go. We're actually going to center this one. So here we can just go there, center it. Oh no, not that way, sorry. What we need to do, oh no, that's fine. We just need to click on the whole frame, vertically align it. There we go, nice. And then 3-column layout, we are just going to do the same thing really. We're just going to reduce some of this text because some of it is a bit much. Especially in a 3-column layout, it will get hard to read if you've got a lot of text. So 2-column layout will be good. Here we're just putting some placeholders, right? So let's go for this is where it takes a bit more time, right? So let's go for some warm colors. So amber, and so we just got a warm color there. We're gonna go with another nice warm color. We just had amber. Let's go to, should we go to this one here, 500, just stay under 500, and here we're going to do the same. We're going to go to red, it's just nice to have these colors. It brings more color to the page, nice and vibrant colors. So now we got this nice section here, and really here we can actually make these smaller on the next scale down. So we want to make them 24. Really nice there, and 24 and 24, and we want to have a bit more gap here. So if we select that whole frame and we want to do see if that works there. So 64, 128, okay, maybe too much. Let's say 64. Yeah, well, this one, well, let's make this bigger. So let's say 800. And then now, if we go back to this frame, we want this to be a 128. Oop, 128. There we go. Nicely spaced out. We just want to give these some color as well. These are the tiny touches, but it makes a huge difference. So we're going to go in this scale here. So purple 500. Where else? Violet 500. We got blue. And then lastly, we have teal or light blue. There we go. And then we're just going to select this one here and we're going to fill it with our mesh. Beautiful. Wow, really nice. And I think we have mainly done it. Now all we have to do is select the whole thing here, and wherever we have this really light grey, we're just going to make it white, for example. And there you go, nice and clean. And then this section here, we actually want to fill that with the mesh as well. So I'll just go in this section, mesh 2. And we want to give all of these a color of white. So select the whole frame. If I zoom in, we're going to go with white. There we are, beautiful. The contrast on there is not fabulous, but again, I still think it's fine for the demo. So now we've just built out a whole web page, and every one of these can be a component. This is how powerful it is. You can think of so many different varieties of layout, and then just to make the finishing touch, we are going to let's just see here, we are going to quickly just get rid of the padding. So now it is going to feel like a whole page. You can see that. Get rid of that. And now it's like a proper, now it's right to the edge, bleeding right to the edge. It's not got that gap. Just as an example, so the frame, I got rid of padding left and right. It's no longer 1440. So here we have to put some padding now. So here we have to create a layout, and oh, actually no, that was a layout grid. Auto layout, and we want to have a padding of 64 on either side. Oops. Ooh, maybe that didn't work too well there. Interesting. That's shifting the whole page. Wonder why. So if I change that to space between, I'll go 64 and 64. Yep. Okay, that's great. And then get rid of the auto layout. This one we actually want to, oh no, actually let's go back. Auto layout, vertically line in the middle, and then we get rid of it, and then we center a line. There we go. But we actually want that nav to be not too far from the top, so let's say the whole, if we can zoom out, oh no, that's fine, yeah. So now we got a whole page and all the different items. The spacing is nice, the spacing is the same. Some of them you might feel the spacing is too much, so you can just go in, for example in the footer, because we've got them individual. Ooh, am I right? Oh, am I wrong? Let's see. Okay, so here we just reduce it to 64 and 64. Do the same for this one. Or actually, let's say 0, 0. And this will also be 0 and 0. In fact, make them all 0. All 0. And then if you get the whole container there, now we can put in a 64 on the left. Actually, we do it all around. You'll see why in a minute. And we're going to give it the light grey that we have there. So we fill it with a nice light grey. And now that feels like a footer. Yeah, so there we go. Amazing. And we just have to close that there. And now the finishing touches is the greys. So we're reaching to an hour, 45 minutes or 46. So we can select all the solid black by clicking on one of them. Go to edit, select all with the same fill, and we want to go to the darkest gray. And then we want to go to all the paragraphs, which we have to do it the long way. So we're going to give this a gray 500. So now you can see the difference now. The nice difference is there's a clear contrast, heading and then text. And it just feels a lot not so heavy on the eyes when everything is solid black. Here is the same thing. We're going to give this a gray of 500, and when one of them is active you can give it the dark gray. And then we just do the same thing, right? It's just repetition. So the way you can do this quicker is you can click here, click like that with both frames open, and then we go to gray 500. Same thing with this one, gray 500. And then we go to all of these. All the frames are open, or are they? So if I click on that, oh, you can't do it like this. You have to click in here in the layer. So hold Command down, and then we'll select gray 500. Nice. Beautiful. Same thing here. We'll just go into each of these frames. Hopefully the other one is open, and we'll go to gray 500. Beautiful. Okay, nice. And that's it. Well, actually, we want to make these also gray 5 because we don't want those to stand out too much. And there we have it. Very nice. That's the whole web page built out. And these are just all reusable. You just have to right click and create component. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you had fun. It's just a really nice way to build out different sections of the site, and we've done that in under an hour. And now you're going to have to do the about page, the features page, but really it's just a remix of these items or these components, and you've practically built the foundation of a site. So yeah, my name is Roy. I'm a web designer. If you like the content, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.